Ladies and gentlemen, you have arrived to Trailer Hitch.
Oh, I see what you did there, Kevin.
Why do you see? What do you see?
You said arrive, and we are going to be talking about the trailer for the movie Arrival.
That's 100% correct, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, we've already gotten requests for trailers to talk about.
That's right. A grand total of two requests.
And you know what? We're going to listen to those because, folks, we're here for you. If you want us to talk about Arrival, by God, we're going to do it.
That's what we're here for. We're here for you guys.
So we're going to be talking about Arrival. We got some other trailers lined up for you. Got some new segments coming up for you. Yeah, I know. This is going to be super exciting. But before we get into stuff, we just want to mention that we don't have a theme song yet.
Not yet, no.
And that's something that we feel like we should rectify.
I'm not a composer, Kevin.
But you might be listening in your home, in your car, wherever.
Very good.
So if you create a song for us for Trailer Hitch, as long as, it is actually a song. Like if you just like fart and say Trailer Hitch, I mean, you're probably not going to take it. But
if it's the only thing we get, we have to put it in.
I mean, we'll consider it. I don't know, man. Anyway, so we're taking all kinds of music. Are you a rapper? Sweet, rap us some Trailer Hitch. Do you play death metal? Fucking scream us some Trailer Hitch. Whatever your genre is, whatever you prefer, send it in. We'll weigh it, and then we will play it.
Keep it 10 seconds or less, I'd say. How about that?
I think I'll go 20. Like if you...
That's long.
If you got good bars, we'll hear them out.
That's true.
All right. So in the meantime, we should probably play some sort of song.
A little diddle.
Yes.
A little ding dong.
Just a little bit.
Little song.
Do you have any requests, James?
I have... No, I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Are you okay with death metal?
I'm always okay with death metal. Yeah, go for it.
You can haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Turn the lights, grab a seat, pour yourselves a whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're Trailer Hitch. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're Trailer Hitch.
Is it too late to play the Carpenters as our theme song?
Yeah, I've already played the metal. And thank you for letting me do that. Yeah, we've already done it.
Yeah. You're a hype man. I trust your hype.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I trust my hype too. Welcome everybody to Trailer Hitch.
Welcome.
I'm Kevin.
I'm James.
And we've got a really, really cool show lined up for you.
Absolutely.
Let's see, we got some trailers. We're not just talking about Arrival, bear in mind. We're also going to be talking about Rings, which is...
scary.
Yeah, I know. All right. Everybody listening, calm down.
I'm shaking in my boots, Kevin.
I know. James is clearly scared. You're probably scared. We're going to talk you through this. We're going to break that trailer down for you. We're going to let you know what's going on.
For those who don't know, it's a scary movie.
It is, yeah. Thank you for clarifying.
I was doing a bit.
You were nailing it, too.
Thank you.
On top of that, we also got Hands of Stone, which is a new boxing movie with Robert De Niro.
Of course, because of course he's in it.
Of course he's in
Yeah.
it. He can't stay away from boxing.
No.
He was probably watching Creed the entire time going like, I really got to get back in there.
You can put all the weird makeup prosthetics you want on Robert De Niro. It's just Robert De Niro in a boxing movie.
Of course.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, we have a new segment for you.
We do.
One that's pretty important, I think, at least for me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Trailer Repair.
Trailer repair. We're doing some repairs on the trailer because it needs it done because we fucked up. Was that good?
Did you just come up with that?
I think so, yeah.
That's kind of genius.
All right, cool, great.
All right, cool. We have our trailer.
It's recorded forever now, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. We can always reference this. All right, perfect. So, Trailer Repair is as follows, ladies and gentlemen. We like to maintain some amount of artistic, journalistic integrity.
Yes.
We're here to inform you, and when we inform you incorrectly, we'd like to admit our mistakes.
Absolutely.
When we make mistakes, we are going to come clean to you. We're going to be the first people to let you know, hey, we fucked up. Here's the correct information. We're sorry. And then we're going to move on.
Should I lead into what we fucked up about?
Sure. Go for it.
Basically, we're referring to last week.
Yeah.
So last week, we reviewed the trailer Sea of Trees.
That's correct.
Yes. And in this trailer, there was a moment where Matthew McConaughey and his wife are at a dinner party, and the words are said at the dinner party by someone to Matthew McConaughey. The words are said, "You think it's right that your wife does all the heavy lifting so you can pretend to be an intellectual."
I do recall this. I remember crediting that line to Naomi Watts, who plays his wife.
You did. And I masterfully convinced you that it was not indeed Naomi Watts. It was just some random party goer.
Yes, we had like an entire thing about
And we
that.
just kept on rolling with it.
Of course, yeah, as any respectable podcaster would.
Absolutely.
The only thing, though, is it was totally said by Naomi Watts.
Yeah,
Upon further review.
You kind of crushed that. And I kind of need you to be a little bit more forceful with your
I
opinion.
guess I'll be
here,
assertive.
Kevin.
Yeah, I'll be more assertive. I mean, honestly, again, you have to bear in mind, about halfway through the Sea of Trees trailer, my brain just shut off.
That's true,
Like, I was
yeah.
just kind of like, all right, there's nothing here for me. And this would be something we do a trailer repair on, but honestly, I mean, it's the Sea of Trees trailer, so...
Who cares?
Yeah, it's,
Moving on.
It's kind of, yeah,
We
it's-
did
it's
it.
whatever. Well, we haven't quite did
sorry.
it. Yes.
I'm
because
jumping the gun.
I got a repair to make, too. Some
But that one was repaired.
that one was repaired.
We fixed it. You're welcome, world.
Yeah, but don't clean off the oil on your hands yet, because we got some more repairing to do,
Oh,
James.
no more dirt.
So, eagle-eyed listeners who were looking at our Facebook page happened to mention in our About section, we called our podcast bi-monthly, when really that's not the case, because I've come to find that bi-monthly means once every other month. So it's, you have a podcast, you wait 2 months.
6 episodes a year, Kevin.
That is what it translates to, yes.
Which is
When you-
entirely wrong.
When you do the math, it's super embarrassing. And ladies and gentlemen, I've rectified it. It is now bi-weekly. And I'm going to just come clean with you guys right now. I am the worst when it comes to bi-weekly, bi-monthly, bi-yearly. I don't get it, okay?
I
'Cause,
get
like,
annually. I get
annually
that.
makes sense. Yeah, if you do any of those things on their own, you get that prefix out of there. Yeah, no, I understand annually means once a year. I understand
Right.
monthly means once a month. Now, when you throw the by in front of it, my brain just thinks, oh, that means it's 2 times whatever that is, when that's not the case at all.
Yeah,
No.
I get you. It's just as confusing for me.
Now, you might be sitting in your home or in your car, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, if you're not good at that, then why did you even attempt to write it in the About section? And honestly, I just kind of hip shot that thing. I was just kind of like, here's something.
Yeah.
And then I passed it along to you, and you were like, that looks good. And
Looked
then
good to me.
And then we went right along with our day.
It went through QC, Kevin.
It
I don't
went
know
through
what to tell you.
QC, but thankfully, you, our audience, are also part of our QC. You let us know pretty promptly that something was askew.
Yeah.
You also seemed confused because you're like, wow, if you're only doing 6 podcasts a year, you
Why
probably,
should I care?
Yeah, you probably don't really give a shit that much
Yeah.
about this, and we do give a shit.
Absolutely. Trailers come out all the time, Kevin. We got lots to talk
So,
about.
we have yeah, there's a lot of material to go.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please expect this podcast to come twice a month.
Yeah.
Please excuse me. I made a mistake. Trailer repaired.
Trailer repair.
We did it.
That's number 2 of 2. We're good.
All right, let's get the grease off our hands because now we got to get into some of these trailers.
Yeah.
We know that you guys, because we've gotten a couple requests about Arrival. I know you're all really excited for it. So now we're going to arrive at our very first review.
You're not real! You're not real.
Rings is a sequel to the 2003, maybe?
Yeah, like 02, 03, somewhere around there.
Original horror film.
Yeah, based off of a Japanese movie called Ringu.
Ringu, that's right. So
Sounds like something you could get at an Italian restaurant.
that's true. It does sound like a noodle or a pasta. So I mean, that movie took the world by storm pretty much. It was pretty big.
Pretty much everywhere.
Like
yeah.
everyone loved it, and it was really, really great. It was kind of like the Paranormal Activity of its day.
Of its day,
even though
yeah.
that is kind of a dated reference now, too.
And then they made a sequel to The Ring called Ring 2.
Ring
I
2,
believe.
yeah, which no one saw.
I did actually see it. I
You
remember.
liar.
No, there's a scene where the main woman gets attacked by a flock of deer. Or it might have just been one deer. I remember a deer being very angry at some point in the film. And
Would you call it a herd of deer?
I mean, I don't even remember how many deer there were.
Because flocks are usually reserved for birds, right?
I mean, oh god, but how much cooler would it have been if like all these
flock
deer
of deer.
Yeah, just flying at her.
Reindeer.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like a Krampus prequel. So it's just it's a sequel, but like kind of updating it for the digital age,
Correct.
the modern digital age.
Yeah, so Rings, it's pretty much an up-and-coming cast. I mean, like, Johnny Galecki is apparently in it as Gabriel. Johnny Galecki being not the super skinny dude from The Big Bang Theory, but, like, his buddy with the glasses. Do you know who I'm vibing about?
No.
Okay, well, that's probably for the best. But Johnny Galecki's apparently
Oh,
in
wait.
it.
Was he in Roseanne? That one? Like
Yeah.
the main character from Big Bang
Yeah,
Theory?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, sweet. Otherwise, the director only has, like, a couple credits to his name.
Okay, all right.
So at this point, yeah, it seems like it's pretty much, let's just bring this up from the well, as it were, and just see how it plays in the digital age. Which, because we're talking about the digital age, I have to note it's sort of strange, I don't know, like a minute into the trailer, the very famed 7 Days phone call comes through on a landline, which if we're updating it for the digital age, just kinda
Coiled
seems-
cord and all.
yeah,
Kevin.
man. Yeah, it was a strange choice if we're going digital. But yeah, so at this point now, really the biggest thing to know, if you haven't seen the trailer, which you totally should. so
Watch
that
the
way you-
trailer. We'll, link it on our Facebook page or something.
Of course.
Yeah.
Really, like, the biggest thing is now it's not a videotape anymore. Now you're getting emailed a link that says watch me.
It's viral, man. It's gone viral.
Yeah. So at this point now, the
Ooh, that
Ring...
should be the tagline for the movie.
It's viral
It's
now?
gone viral. Oh, missed opportunity.
all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, this trailer starts just with like some random woman who seems to be not too pleased
Oh my
with
god,
what's
that
going.
opening image, man.
It's just this woman heavily breathing. She seems upset, and there's a television with a sheet drawn over it. And she doesn't like what's going on that TV because she
Nope.
immediately just starts ripping cords out of the walls. That TV goes flying.
Yep.
And then look out because the Ring Girl comes out of that
yeah.
TV.
Or, so we think. We
so
don't
we th-
know.
Who knows?
Could be
what
a
it could be.
twist. Could be the Ring boy, her friend down the road, down the other well. I don't know. Never mind.
Anyway, the trailer seems to be this woman gets a link emailed to her that says "Watch me," which I don't know. Like, I'll be interested to see how they play it because, like, hopefully it comes from like a friend. Because otherwise, like, if you at work all of a sudden got emailed a link that said "Watch me" from someone you didn't know, would you watch that?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I
So-
don't even watch things that my parents send me. So
But we'll give them credit and just assume that, it comes from like a trusted source. They watch the video, they get the phone call on their wired home line, which, okay. And then the trailer then goes through all 7 days. We get
Yeah.
a title card that says day 1. And she seems like super upset. Day 2 comes, day 3, day 4. And we go through the entire run. And like,
now
I
this
think
is a second girl though than
Yeah.
the girl in the opening image of the trailer.
yeah, the girl in the
She's
opening.
she's cannon fodder for this movie.
I
She's
mean,
gotta be.
She's probably fine. Like, she probably made it out okay.
You don't think she's there just to prove the situation is serious, Kevin?
Nah. Because it came out of the TV. We're dealing with computers now,
Yeah,
James. Get
yeah.
with it.
She even did the smart thing that we're all like, just throw your TV face down.
Exactly.
Problem solved. Apparently not, because the hand just crawls out
You
from
would
underneath
assume the smartest thing to do would be to leave the room or, like, the apartment. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you'd think that would be, like, probably your first
I
go.
guess.
Like,
And-
if someone started to crawl out of my TV, I'd be like, I'm gonna go get a coffee.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna come back, or I'll, like, just sort of peek in and just, nope, still there. And then I'm gonna, I don't know, go to the park, maybe hit up a friend. But yeah, I just think it's important to note, like, the whole, like, they go through every single day. It's like day 4, they do that thing where it's like, oh, she's standing right behind you. Oh, never mind. No, she's not. Oh, but now her hands are like, and it looked like she had like the perfect setting for like a neck snap. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looked like she was done for. But then we see in day 5 or day 4 or whatever,
we know she's going to be okay.
She's going to be fine.
Because it's only day 4.
Yeah, and so like we're already eliminating some tension. And at the same time too, Lan, like, you don't have to break down, this goes on for 7 days, because like this has been in pop culture. We completely know
people
the
know the
situation.
lure of this film.
Yeah,
At this point.
I also have to assume that there has to be a different solution to like delete to stop the ring girl from getting you. Because in the original film, it was, you have to make a copy of the tape.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a copy of the tape, you're fine. In the digital age...
And, like, didn't you have to make someone watch it, too? Or you just had to make a copy?
I think you just made a copy, and then you just kind of, like, went on about your day. And then you went and got a coffee, and you didn't have to worry about a goddamn ring girl in your apartment.
Okay.
But, like, in the digital age, ladies and gentlemen, it is so fucking easy to copy stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that can't be it anymore, right?
Well, but the thing with the original ring that is interesting is that it's that, like, oh my god, should I do this thing? Like, it'll save myself, but I'm pretty much damning someone else by making a copy of this tape.
Just put a post-it on the fucking tape that says, watch me, and then a second post-it note that says, and then make a copy of me afterward.
But it's like that's an interesting dilemma that people would need to deal with. Like, oh my god, I don't want to die, but this is the only way to do it, is like...
Sure.
You know, kind of damn other people.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about this trailer is, so there's, later in the trailer, I don't know if it's like day 7 or whatever, there's an airplane, right? And
that is 100% the
every
case.
screen on this airplane starts playing the ring thing, right? And I kind of was like, so it's just like an unstoppable beast. It's not like a choice that human beings need to make, and that's what's interesting about it anymore. It's just like, oh, some asshole hit send all on the email, and that's it. Like, end game, man. I don't know. It just seems so far less interesting of a character study, and that's what made the first one interesting. It's scary. It was tense, but at the end of the day, it's about like, should I do that? Like, to, stop this from happening or not, or blah, blah, blah. But, yeah.
Well, I think the important thing with the first one, and bear in mind, I saw it around the time it came out. So, we're talking over a decade at this point.
Long time ago.
But I still very vividly remember, not Naomi Watts, but, like, the dude who, like, also watched it or whatever. I remember the scene where that guy gets axed, right? Where she comes out of the TV, and she, like, takes, like...
Spoiler alert for those who haven't
seen that movie, thinking
over a decade old.
That was also like super popular. Yes, I would apologize, I suppose. But like, the ring girl takes like those first couple of steps, and then there's like that thing where like she goes staticky, and then all of a sudden she like hops across to the other side of the room. Do you remember that shit?
No,
like,
I don't.
It was so cool and like really creepy too. And I think I really liked it because it wasn't like she just came out of the TV and went baka, 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 and then she got you. It was like this really tense and creepy, like, what the fuck is she do? Oh my god, now she's over there.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little bit more measured, and like with especially that very first bit of that trailer, it's like, she's fucking prying out of the TV, and like, she's just, and then she gets you.
Yeah.
And like, there isn't as much tension in that. Because like, I think naturally with horror movies, you're kind of like, well, what can you do? So like with The Ring, it's, you can make a copy of the goddamn tape and save yourself and potentially damn someone else, and morally, are you okay with that? I think that that's a really interesting and cool premise.
Exactly, yeah.
And with this, it's like, it doesn't really seem like there's that much you can do if it's just like popping up on goddamn like airplanes and stuff like that. I mean, like, I'm just trying to catch a flight home, and then all of a sudden, what? I'm gonna die in a week? That's bullshit.
Exactly. Or instantly if this plane is going down.
Exactly.
Which is what it looks like.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look good. So, like, I didn't really need a third Ring movie to begin with.
No, not at all.
But just from what I've seen in this trailer, this isn't really getting me excited. I'm still at that same level of I really don't need another Ring movie.
Yeah. Is there anything in this trailer that you think the trailer did well? I mean, don't strain yourself, Kevin.
Like-
if the answer is no, then let's just move on.
I mean, like, there really wasn't anything in there that I was super interested in, because, like, I thought the stuff with the hand scanner and then a dude who's either blind or is super cool and wears his sunglasses inside during the day.
The Kingpin from the Daredevil
exactly.
show.
That guy is like,
He's blind. He's got to be blind
you
in
would
this
have
show.
to assume. That guy's like, well, there's a mark on your hand and it says bedazzled or whatever.
It means
the fuck.
rebirth.
Oh, that was it. Thank you. So, I mean, like, that isn't really that interesting. Because,
No.
like, just having, like, some weird blind dude who's like, I can give you a hand. It's
Yeah.
like, well, that, again, removes some tension.
And it looks
'Cause,
like they're, like, sitting around and doing a seance or something, but the seance goes wrong, which causes the airplane thing. I mean, that's the way the trailer is cut,
Yeah.
obviously. That could all be out of context.
Yeah, and, like, I'm the hype man. I'm the positive guy. And I'm, like, really fucking struggling here right now. Was there anything that you liked?
Yes, small things, nothing to write home about,
Okay.
but there were a couple just, like, practical looking, unsettling image things that I'm like, oh, that was done really well. Like, pulling the hair from the back of her mouth. That stuff is really unsettling, and I think it's effective and not in a gratuitous smack you over the head with it type of way. Like, there was this one shot where she, like, turns her hand around. The main character, like, turns her hand around.
There was one thing that I really liked, yeah, and, like, her hands are, like, sort of stuck together.
Yeah,
or whatever.
her hand-
I thought that was very cool.
Like, that
So, yes,
was really
we
cool.
found
Like,
some
if
positive.
there's more of that kind of stuff, that's all really commendable, because I think, at least it looks from this view, as a practical type effect, which people should be trying more of. And I think that's something that Hollywood has been, having a hard time grasping, is that people really like seeing practical things in every kind of genre.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Blockbusters, horror films, even just fucking little indie pictures. If someone throws a little cherry bomb, and do it practically.
Yeah,
Don't,
like Green Room, it looked like most of that stuff was practical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That looked fantastic.
Exactly.
So there were a few things in it that I was like, okay, these little things looked good. But for the most part, I was just like, why do I need to see this movie at all? It looks
Yeah.
like The Ring, just on a bigger scale, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not like the monster has evolved type of thing. It's just more widespread because we're in the digital age now, I guess. Maybe?
Yeah.
I think.
I guess.
I don't know.
Eh.
I think the music, I mean, it was pretty much what you expect. It's just ominous
yeah.
tones and scary little, like, shrieks here and there. And great, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, nothing really lit my heart on fire
No.
with this. So I'm going to give this a never need to see.
I'm going to give it a never need to see. Oh, is that what you said?
Yeah,
we both never need to see.
Hey,
Okay.
agreement!
High five.
Yeah, we high five.
Fantastic.
All right, cool. Well, hey, you know what? We kind of took the piss out of that Rings trailer. We should probably talk about something positive. I feel like we could arrive at a point where we can come in agreement that there's a really good trailer out there, James.
And we're about to talk about
The Hands of Stone.
We are in for a serious fight.
I'm not going to box you out on this. James, do you want to introduce our next movie here?
after that fantastic lead-in, Kevin, you betcha. All right, so Hands of Stone
Yes.
is a boxing movie with Robert De Niro and I don't know anyone else that's in it.
We have Edgar Ramirez. And then, I can't believe you didn't recognize him, sir, Usher.
Oh, I recognized him.
Usher is in the movie.
Ursher. Good old Ursher. Where's he been? He's been training for this movie.
I guess,
I hope it's
yeah.
an Oscar winner for him. Spoiler
He does
alert,
too.
I don't think it will be. But
We'll see. We'll see.
okay.
Who knows?
Anyway, okay, so the movie looks, from this trailer, to be about a Mexican boxer who is kind of wild, a little, like, needs to be reined in a little bit. and
Yeah,
that's
he's
where,
a womanizer.
Yeah.
But, like, he's been fighting his whole life, and, like, he's definitely risen from what appears to be the slums of the country he
Right.
came from to now he's in America and he's a professional boxer.
Right, people see a lot of potential in him.
Yes.
And
And-
as long as he could harness his, talent and aggression.
Yes. And Robert De Niro walks up and is like, I want to help you. And he's like, I don't need help from an American. And Robert De Niro's like, Well, anyway, and then he starts training him.
Yeah. But we wouldn't have a movie if you said no, so
Right.
let's just keep going with this.
Now, here is where the trailer starts to go into a very common issue, I think, that trailers have nowadays, which is, I think it starts to give away a little bit too much about the movie, because then we get an intro into Sugar Ray, played by Usher.
Ursher?
And, Usher's like, I'm like a really great boxer.
I'm the
And
best.
then my buddy Edgar Ramirez is like, put me in a ring and I can beat him. And then Usher comes in with that country grammar, and it's mostly just a period on Edgar Ramirez's day, because he just fucking lays him out. So it's like, oh, I guess Edgar Ramirez loses this boxing match. And then it's like, I've been training my whole life, so I assume they might try and fight again at some point. Like, again, I kind of wish it didn't, go quite that far into what the movie was supposed to be.
Sure, yeah, not lead on that this is going to be having 2 big fights in it. So I lost my train of thought, but anyway, what I'm getting at is Sugar Ray and I don't even know the character's name.
Roberto Duran.
Roberto Duran.
I had to look at
they're
my
like,
IMDb,
yeah, they're like these rivals, and it's kind of, you're kind of supposed to get like this is like a Rocky Apollo Creed type of rivalry, maybe sort of. I don't know. It definitely like hints at Rocky tones and stuff. You
Definitely got the underdog.
Yeah. You got your quintessential, boxing, slow-mo shots in the ring, and, everything's real, hitting real hard, and I don't know. I'm not a big boxing movie guy.
I'm really not either, but usually when I actually sit down to watch them, I really enjoy them. So,
Sure.
I dragged my feet for a really long time to see The Fighter,
The Fighter was really good.
and I really like The Fighter.
That might be the only boxing movie I've ever seen in full.
But for me, I had the exact same experience where I was like, Raging Bull, I guess. And I watched it, I was like, I really liked that again.
I never saw it,
But even right now, I still haven't seen Creed yet.
which I haven't either.
And, I'm really dragging my feet. And I'm assuming when I actually sit down to watch it, I'm probably going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I might not be, a super valid source when it comes to boxing movies. But I will say, I think from a visual standpoint, everything, looked fairly engaging.
Sure.
The shots of the slums were really cool. I liked how low the camera was as, the kid is running.
Yeah.
Because then you get kind of a sense of, what this looks like from his perspective. I thought that was really cool. The lighting where John Turturro is outside and he's like, hey, I'm taking a smoke break from the night of. I'm here to offer you advice. I thought, that looked really cool. The blacks and, that light blue looked really cool.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff from a visual standpoint where I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I could see that being really visually engaging.
Yeah.
And the content itself, again, I'd say I'm not that huge into boxing movies, but whenever I do watch them, I tend to pretty much enjoy them.
Sure.
So I feel very much I need to see more out of this.
Yeah.
I'm not running into the theater.
Yeah,
but
this trailer at least is very much just your meat and potatoes type of trailer, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just your kind of usual montage cutty stuff. You got some inspirational music while these two are going at it in the ring, some action shots, some slow-mo shots, some shots with, sexy girls and, getting crazy at the nightlife type shots. It's just kind of, I've seen it all kind of before in one way or the other in a lot of these kinds of movies. So nothing really stood out to me with this one. It is exciting that Usher's in it. That's kind of hilarious. I haven't seen him. I don't think I've seen him in anything since The Faculty, which that movie's hilarious and awesome. And he was pretty good in it. He had a small part, but yeah, I don't know. Kevin, I think for me as well, this is very much I need to see more. You know what? No, I take it back already. I never need to see this.
Really?
Yeah, there's other movies like Creed.
Yeah.
That trailer kind of really sold me on that one, and I still didn't go see. It's just these boxing movies for me it's just really hard to get me in the theater. This one, I just don't. I feel like it doesn't have the potential of what I think it could have. I don't know. I never need to see it.
But see, I need to see more And thankfully, we can see more, because there is a Red Band trailer out for this. That came out, that came out pretty much simultaneously with this trailer as well.
They've been doing that a lot more recently with R-rated movies.
For sure. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be our new segment.
Oh, it's brand new.
Paint Job.
Paint Job.
So, in Paint Job, if they're starkly different, because sometimes the Red Band trailer is pretty similar to the Green Band, with the exception of they say the word fuck. However, the Red Band trailer for Hands of Stone is actually substantially different.
Yeah.
And we need to... I think we need to break this down for you.
We need to discuss it a little bit.
All right, so grab your paintbrush, because this is going to get real. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Band trailer for this is 1:14, and I would have to estimate that about 60% of this is fucking.
Oh, yeah. It's all sex all the time, for sure.
So with the Red Band trailer, it really isn't playing it like it's supposed to be Edgar Ramirez's movie at all. It's really focusing on both of them. Because, like, we get that press conference, and it's mostly Usher being like, yeah, I'm going to win. And Edgar Ramirez kind of being like, well, I don't know about that.
It was a lot of build-up in that, like, conference to Usher's, like, final line, which is just, it's going to be a good fight, or some shit like that.
Right.
It's like, that wasn't impactful at all.
Totally not. And, like, you get one line for Robert De Niro, like, which, again, in the Green Band trailer, they build Robert De Niro up to be, like, a pretty central part of the movie.
Yeah, it was a boxer and his trainer movie.
And then in the Red Band, it just kind of seems like two dudes sort of squibbling at a table. And then, Edgar Ramirez is in bed with a, I would say, very attractive woman.
Sure.
Who sort of teases him and is kind of goading him into trying to beat Usher in a boxing match.
Does the match even come up in this scene at all? Or do they just go right into talking about sex?
I vaguely recall her being like, this is the guy to beat right here. Or one of them saying this is the guy to beat.
All right.
You know what I mean? And then she references her vagina as the Panama Canal.
Yes.
And says that his dick is a sailboat, which he corrects and says that it's the Titanic.
Which isn't a good analogy.
No.
Because
that sunk. That broke in half and it sunk.
That's not a great analogy, so...
Additionally, you might be listening to this being like, wait, what? Like, why is that in the trailer? I don't know.
No idea.
There's no reason.
It's like the trailer just like hits the brakes on making any sort of momentum on getting you to understand this movie. So right away, it's the boxer. What's his name? I can never remember.
The actual boxer?
Yeah.
Roberto Duran.
Roberto Duran's in bed with this woman,
Yeah.
and they're, having sex banter back and forth, bad sex banter back and forth. And so they're speaking Spanish. So it's all in subtitles, which I respect that for the movie, but nothing hits the brakes on a trailer like all of a sudden expecting your audience to start reading subtitles when it was an English trailer like 2 seconds ago. I think, dude, you got like a minute and a half, 2 minutes tops to get someone interested in this movie. And when you're switching between English and subtitles, that's a bad move on a marketing standpoint.
I think it's a bad move, but at the same time, I think their standpoint was, but her butt looks great. And it does. It was a great
her
butt.
butt looked great.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not here to judge her butt, Kevin. We're better than that.
Trailer.
We're here to
you
judge
have to
the
remind
trailer.
me that every time talk about a trailer.
You're goddamn right. So anyway,
so after they're done fucking,
then we cut to the reverse side to see how the enemy sleeps, and he sleeps very similar to
Usher is also fucking.
Yeah. For really no reason that this trailer will have you believe. It's like, I'm sure there's context in the film for these scenes.
You'd hope.
But in the trailer, it's just throwing sex scenes in for gratuitous sex scenes' sake.
Yeah, it's trying to pull you into the theater with the promise that there's going to be fucking.
It's so bad. It was so bad.
It was really a terrible trailer. So, I guess for our paint job...
I don't think we have to give a review on the paint job. It's just more talking about the comparisons between the green and red band.
So more fucking. Yeah, we can start and stop there. There's more fucking.
There's more fucking, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm
That's
glad we did it. Ladies and gentlemen.
Tell me, Kevin.
I've been a dick to you guys. I've been teasing you this entire time. I guess we'll talk about...
There are days that define your story beyond your life. Like the day they arrived.
objects measure at least.
I'm Colonel G.T. Weber from Army Intelligence. Pack your bags. You're at the top of it.
Arrival! We've arrived, Kevin.
So anyway, I'm pretty goddamn jazzed for this thing. All right, so Arrival. This is the new movie that is directed by Denis Villeneuve.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but God, am I excited because...
We'll repair the trailer later. Anyway, yeah, it's the guy who directed...
Sicario and...
Sicario.
Oh my God, so good.
Enemy, this guy's got some movies under his belt. So it's also starring Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Forrest Whitaker, Michael Stuhlbarg, who was the main dude in A Serious Man, who also had a really big part in Boardwalk Empire.
So those first three are pretty much your stars.
But anyway, this trailer opens up with Amy Adams playing with what we presume is her daughter. Just hanging out with some local youths.
Sure.
Anyway, she says something along the lines of oh man, you fucking remember the day they arrived. Everyone knew where they were when they arrived. You're like, what the fuck is they? Hang on, we'll get there. Because then Amy Adams is on a helicopter with Forrest Whitaker and Jeremy Renner, and they're kind of yeah, buckle up, because we're going to be talking to some UFOs. And then we get to what looks like, and I say this with, it's a loving jab, it looks like a big-ass contact lens that's floating in the sky. They get into this contact lens, which, oh my God, I just realized they're contacting the alien in a contact lens. Maybe it was all that. That's the point.
That was a fantastic joke, Kevin.
Jesus Christ. Good job, Dennis.
It was too good for me even to laugh out loud. I'm just rolling in the appreciation of that joke.
Okay, great.
Continue.
So anyway, so it's all of these, what we presume are scientists, military people, they're all in hazmat suits. They're walking up to what looks like to be this big window, and you can't see through the other side. It's
mist.
It's mist.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on here? And Amy Adams is like, fuck this, and she's ripping all her gear off, and Jeremy Renner's like, dude. And anyway, she walks up to this big window thing. She puts her hand up, and then all of a sudden what looks like this weird tentacle thing just smacks up onto that fucking window right there. And she's like, there we go. Now that's contact. That's communication.
Yeah.
These top minds are sitting around and going, okay, but we have to be able to communicate with this. We don't know what this thing wants. What's it doing here?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it throws up this, it looks like almost a complete circle, kind of like an ink blot.
Yeah.
And Amy Adams is like, holy shit, that's their language. And so she's marking these symbols down, and they're trying to deduce what they mean and what are they trying to say.
Yeah.
While at the same time, a bunch of other goddamn contact lenses are flying all over the world, and a bunch of them are touching down all over the place. And all these nations are getting fucking tense and anxious. What's going on here? You have people who either want to kick them outright. You have people who are trying to figure out the secrets and are trying to understand what's going on before the rest of the world does. Russia's shooting their own people and shit.
Yeah.
Things get crazy, and I am so fucking excited to see where it goes.
I can tell you're really amped up for this one. And yeah, I just really like this trailer. Obviously, I love the director, and I am excited for this visually, and that director can build tension like a motherfucker.
Oh, God.
Sicario was the most tense movie I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, when they're driving through Juarez.
Yeah, it's incredible. So I know he can do tension. I know he can do visual storytelling. That's really great. He can direct the hell out of his actors, which is fantastic. So I'm really excited for all these things. I've seen a lot of alien type movies, and this movie, it seems like the trailer, it's just kind of not as...
It's awesome!
It's awesome. Sure. It's more about Amy Adams and her longing to communicate with it. And that's something kind of new. Every other alien movie has kind of brushed over that in a scene or something of just oh, we're gonna try and communicate with the aliens. We flash some lights on it. Oh, they didn't like that. It looks like this movie is gonna be way more focused on the struggle that communication is between two things that don't understand each other.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It's so interesting. Yeah, it's a completely different perspective on the alien story, because either they're able to just be bloop, bloop, bleep, I can understand you and now you understand me, and they just completely eliminate that. But it's so much more interesting and so much more tense again.
Yeah.
When there's this thing that's here and you can't communicate with it. And it can't communicate with you. And like you both just have to kind of sit there and look at each other and be like,
what the
do you
fuck
want a
are we
beer?
doing?
You don't even know what a beer is.
Yeah.
Like,
I've watched this trailer a few times now, and it's hard for me to put my finger on what exactly I'm reluctant about with it, because there's so much to love in the trailer. And
cinematography.
The cinematography is
fucking
great.
badass. I'm gonna give that guy a shout out. His name is Bradford Young. He also shot Selma, A Most Violent Year, Anthem Body Saints, like movies that, like, regardless of whether or not you liked him, you walked away and were like, that looked fucking dope.
Yeah.
And that's, like, I think the exact same thing is going to be true for Arrival.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
so
even if we end up seeing it and it's like, oh, that was kind of ass. Like, at least we can walk away and be like, that looked great, though.
I just think the reason that I'm going in with a little bit of reluctance is because I know how masterfully he can build tension, the director, and it looks like they kind of give certain things away in this trailer that
agree.
I feel like in the movie, the tension would have built to these moments way more artfully and impactfully than in a 2.5-minute trailer of... Okay, all right, people, we're going to spoil this trailer for you. The ending shot is all these military helicopters firing tons of missiles in a direction off screen, which we pretty much are led to assume is towards the UFOs. Now, you just like kind of wasted the tension of that moment in a 2.5-minute trailer when you didn't need that moment at all. Just like people verbally arguing about it was tense enough for the trailer. It's like that helicopter missile fire shot wasn't even like a money shot enough to like really jazz people up anyway.
It's not like a good end to the trailer.
You could have removed it entirely and the trailer would have been just as impactful for more people, more so for me, because I don't want to know it comes to that. Now I know it comes to helicopters firing missiles at them.
At something.
Don't know. Yeah, that's a fair point.
And you know what? I will agree with you there. I would also conclude that, like, we get a little bit too much out of this trailer. I mean, like, certainly that line about the Russians executing the moan is fucking dope.
Yeah.
That said, like, it would have been cooler for me to go in blind not knowing that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I agree that whether the helicopters are shooting at the UFO itself or if it's countries at war with each other, I wish that I didn't know that much.
Yeah.
And so I would say that as a trailer, again, like we had brought it up earlier, showing too much of your story, I think this trailer is definitely guilty of that.
Yeah.
Like, that said, though, like, the positives going on in here so far outweigh those.
I totally
negatives.
agree with you, yeah.
I think it looks really great. And, like, just, like, the sound. Like, the fact that there's, like, such an absence of sound when they're in that contact room with the alien. And just, like, that very light, like, tap when the tentacle hits the mirror, I think is, like, super cool. And honestly, like, this is far and away a need to see for me.
Oh, my God. It had great lines, too. Like, Amy Adams had this one line, and it was like... You need to make sure they know the difference between a weapon and a tool.
Yeah.
Because that's a distinct difference. And sometimes they can be the same thing. Like, language is fucking messy as hell.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't understand each other at all. I'm just so excited for that aspect of this. Because that's a part of, like, alien-type sci-fi movies that we don't get a whole lot of. It's a need to see it for me, Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it is.
You gave it a need to see?
I did.
I gave it a need to see? Sound the alarm!
You're witnessing history here, folks.
Okay. Alarm bells are going off. Ladies and gentlemen,
Ding,
we got
ding, ding.
2 need to sees.
Out of 2.
2 out of 2. Now,
some would say that's 100%.
That is, well, I mean, mathematically, yeah. Like, that is totally 100%.
Right.
Now, when we get 2 need to sees, when both James and I come together and we agree, yep, that is a need to see, that means that James and I have to go see the movie on opening weekend.
Yes.
We are going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about the movie, whether or not we think that it met our expectations. Do we think that we were sold incorrectly with the trailer?
Exactly.
And we're going to give you the full report. Until then, though, Got a double need to see. And that's why, by the way, I think this might be my first need to see that I've given so far.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just want to point out that usually, yes, I am very positive. Like, I definitely have more critiques and stuff. For me, when I, like, don't give something a need to see, part of it's because I don't have a ton of money. So, I mean, like, I have to really budget, like, which movie I go to.
Don't let that influence your review, though, Kevin.
I'm going to try not to.
Okay.
But, like, the practical part of my brain is kind of like, I mean, like, maybe I would go see that Resident Evil movie for the hell of it. But at the same time...
Yeah, when our criteria is, would we spend money on a movie ticket? And they start hiking up movie tickets to, like, $25, $30 a seat.
Then we're going to be the meanest fuckers on the planet.
We're pretty much never going to need to see a movie, are we?
Yeah, never.
Okay, good to know.
But as of right now, I think... Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Arrival to arrive. I
Very
had
nice.
to fit one more Arrival joke in there.
That was
'cause
good.
You got most of them, Kevin. I needed one.
We've gone through all these trailers, but ladies and gentlemen, if you look over there, it looks like one of those trailers is running the fuck away from us.
No. Runaway trailer.
We're going to have to catch up to it really quick. All right. So, for our Runaway trailer segment, James and I wanted to talk about Mary Shelley. And who is Mary Shelley, James?
Oh, let me tell you, listeners, Mary Shelley is the author of one of my favorite books, Frankenstein.
The Shining. Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay. Frankenstein, yes.
Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus, which is the full title. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know.
It's in the book that I lent you, Kevin, if you would have read it.
I'm getting there.
All right. Anyway, so Frankenstein, one of my favorite books, written by Mary Shelley.
Yes.
And what we're looking to talk about with our Runaway trailer segment real quick is just the story behind the author Mary Shelley coming up with this book that has really stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
So,
because I have read the foreword to Frankenstein.
yes, you did.
And in the foreword, Mary Shelley kind of gives some context for how she came up with Frankenstein. And ladies and gentlemen, it is a fucking story and a half. Because she was married to Percy Shelley, who was a very predominant, I believe a poet mostly.
Yeah, writer,
like, he was a
poet.
writer.
Yeah.
And again, like, fairly predominant. Like, she, at the time, like, she was his wife.
Yeah.
One of those things. And so Percy Shelley is going on, like, this, what's more or less like a writer's retreat up in this cabin. And, like, Lord Byron is there, like, some pretty big fucking heavy hitters
Yeah.
from, like, the Romanticism era of literature. Mary Shelley, in this foreword, is, like, very, very tactful, and, like, she seems so appreciative of that time. But, like, kind of reading in between the lines, I got the sense that she was kind of, like, subservient throughout this entire time.
Absolutely.
Again, she is his wife.
And it was,
and, it's like, fuck, Percy had to bring his wife along.
Yeah.
Like, one of those sort of things. And then at some point, someone's like, oh, hey, to pass the time, it might be amusing for us to come up with some ghost stories. And everyone's like, oh, great. And everyone sort of, like, breaks off to write. And Mary Shelley's like, I don't know what I'm going to write. And so, like, they'd be, like, making, like, lunch or whatever. And it's like, oh, Mary, how's your story coming? And she'd be like, fucking great.
Yeah,
like, really making some headway. And she hadn't written a word.
Come back to me. Just come back to me.
Exactly.
Circle
yeah.
around.
They'd ask her, like, oh, yeah, well, what's it about? I want to keep it at that. Like, you'll see.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
going
to be great.
You'll all see.
And then in, like, it's, like, 3 or 4 days where she's just blocked to shit. And then all of a sudden she does, like, have a dream where she sees Frankenstein monsters. She, like, wakes up and goes, I got it right. And then she just fucking vomits out Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It's not like you hear about people taking years upon years to, like, finish a novel or whatever. Mary Shelley more or less just pooped out Frankenstein over the course of, like, a week. And so it's like all these, like, heavy hitter writers come up and are like, all right, guys, like, we're going to read our ghost stories or whatever. Okay, let's read Mary's. And then, like, they read Mary's and it's like,
what
holy
the fuck?
Shit!
Yeah.
This is great!
Yeah.
And so she publishes it anonymously because it's like, it was more or less like a writing exercise.
Yeah.
And then it fucking explodes.
Yeah.
And Mary Shelley all of a sudden surpasses, and, like, we have Percy Shelley, who, again, like, I didn't even know off the top of my head, is he more a poet or is he more like an author? Didn't even know that because fucking Mary Shelley's way bigger than him now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, people fucking know who Mary Shelley is. I just think that would be a very interesting dynamic for a movie.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And, like, I thought my whistle was going to get wet because you had told me, oh, dude, they're doing 2 Mary Shelley biopics.
I did, yeah. And, like, I've heard about these, like, a long time ago, too. And you are finally reading a little bit of Frankenstein, so that reminded me.
You just have that in your back pocket when he fucking reads this. Finally,
I'm just saying you haven't finished it yet. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
So that reminded me that those rumors were from a while ago, and I thought I'd tell you that they do have the idea to make the movie about the Mary Shelley story.
Yeah.
And then we looked up what these movies were actually about.
And we were bummed.
Yeah. I feel like whoever is writing, or at least pitching these movies, doesn't quite understand the awesomeness of the story.
Yeah.
Because I think one of them was, like, described as, like, a sexy Mary Shelley, and she's super sexy and suave and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like
a more modern take on Mary Shelley.
And very...
A more modern take on this real-life person.
Super stylistic, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just want to watch this movie about this woman have an epiphany and write out one of the greatest books ever.
Yeah, for sure. And like that's one of them. And then the other biopic I think is supposed to be a more stuffy, like from womb to tomb. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like here's Mary Shelley's entire life.
Like just a bore of a biopic.
Yeah. Mary Shelley has like a really interesting story there.
You can make a whole movie out of just that retreat.
100%. Yeah. And like that's what we were talking about. Like that's something that we'd really love. From the point in which like they get out of the car and Percy is like, all right, come on, fucking wife. And Mary Shelley's like, all right, dude, thanks.
No, see, I
and
imagine...
then like seeing it like just fucking completely unfurl on him.
Dude, I imagine it...
Here's the deal. Like, when Mary Shelley's talking about, like, the story blowing up or whatever, she's, like, kind of tactfully saying, like, you know, oh, yeah, and Percy was, like, so sweet about it. But fucking was he, though? It was the 19th century. That was back when, like, unfortunately, like, women were seen to be, like, oh, you stay home, and then, like, I'm gonna go win the bread. Then all of a sudden, Mary Shelley's like, yeah, now I'm a bigger deal than you. And what's Percy Shelley actually cool with it? Like, that could be a very interesting dynamic.
Absolutely. And, like, I think it would have been totally different. You were saying, like, he like, would have opened the car door for Mary Shelley and be like, all right, come on, wife. I think it would have been totally backwards. He would have been, like, jazzed to, like, introduce everyone to his wife and really show off for Mary how good of a writer he is. He's just, like, he's really feeling the creative juices.
So much more interesting.
Yeah, he's feeling the creative juices flowing. He's like, I am going to show up everyone at this retreat. Mary, what are you doing this weekend? You gotta come. You gotta come. Lord Byron's gonna be there. I'm gonna shove it in his face. You gotta see it.
Right.
And she's just like, fine, I have a lot to do, but fine, I'll come. So he's just dragging her, and then they all peer pressure her into writing this thing, and she probably is just like super intimidated by all these writers at the time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to fucking do that. That would be so intimidating. And then it just like fucking came to her and she just like spat it down. That's absolutely insane. The look on Percy's face.
Lord Byron just like going up and high-fiving her and shit like that. Like, she's totally won his respect. And like, you know, she's like sweet about it, even though like, really, fuck Lord Byron. Like, now she's Mary Shelley. She's a bigger deal now. And like,
Byron's like, Percy, she's a keeper. And Percy's like, shut up, Byron.
Oh, God. And then like the last scene could just be like that drive home where it's like super silent or whatever. And like, you know, Mary Shelley's like kind of like looking out the car window, and it's like really quiet. And then Percy Shelley's like, "It didn't have to be that good, okay? You could have just written whatever."
I'm really proud of you. It's really good, honey. It's really good. But you know what? Maybe just leave your name off of this one.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
And then he, you know, is totally fucking wrong about that too. Mm-hmm. Oh God. Anyway, that'd be great.
All right. So that's our Runaway trailer.
Yeah.
We just wanted to say, Mary Shelley. That story is fucking great.
Mary Shelley, we're pulling for you.
We're pulling for you, Mary.
Because hashtag feminism.
Hashtag feminism. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by Trailer Hitch. We're going to be coming back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Not in 2 months.
Not in 2 months.
To talk more trailers, give you some more segments, have a ton of fun. We hope to see you there.
Hit up our Facebook and check us out there.
We also have a link on our Facebook to email us in case you don't want to fucking find that button. trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com. Send an email our way. If we get anything that's like super dope, we'll totally read it on the show.
Yeah. So, and also go to iTunes and rate us, please, because that is what we hear is a good thing. Like, I've been told that we are supposed to tell people to rate us, and I would really appreciate if you guys rate us on iTunes. That would be great. Thank you for listening, everyone. And if we didn't talk about a trailer that you really wanted to hear about, I hope you enjoyed this anyway. Check out these trailers.
Of course.
So you kind of know what we're talking about. They're free. It's on the internet. And just email in or comment on our Facebook page if you want us to talk about a certain trailer.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a good night.
I'm James.
I'm Kevin.
Bye.
Bye.
And outro music.
It would go here?
It would
The
go
outro
here,
music?
yeah.
Should probably be Usher.
You can't mend holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch.